Welcome to Silent Podcast, the place where everything but silent. I'm host Isaiah, and we're back to talk about Big Brother 25. We're here to talk about a whole lot of mess, a whole lot of stress, and I'm here with some great people. If you are here for the Izzy, apparently, unfortunately, we do have to reschedule her. She's not feeling too hot. She hit me up a little bit earlier, so that I'm not feeling good. We're gonna talk tomorrow, and we're gonna reschedule her. But we do have another special guest coming on next week, a Big Brother winner. So make sure you look out for that. But Izzy will be here not this week, not next week, but possibly the week after that. But anyway, I'm here to talk with my co-host as usual, Katie. Katie, what's going on?
Not too much. I took a week off last week. I had an invisible week last week, but I'm back now. I was able to play again this week, so here I am. It's good to be back.
All right. And we also have Josie. Josie, what's up?
It feels good to be back with the OG crew. It's been a while. We've either guests or we haven't all been here, so it's nice to be back with the OG crew. And I can't wait to talk some shit. So I'm excited.
All right. But yeah, we're here to talk about everything that's been going on. Like I said, we haven't all three been on here in a while. I've been here just doing my thing for a little bit. Who was here last week? Who all was going to be there? Shout out Eric and Tracy. That was a great one. But we're here to talk about what's going on now. If you're not already subscribed to the Silent Podcast YouTube channel, make sure you do that. Make sure if you are listening to our audio platforms at a later point, please like it with 5 stars. Only if you like it, though. If you don't do it at all. And make sure if you're interested in supporting us any further, Patreon is available. YouTube super chats are available. No, all that fun stuff. But guys, like you guys said, it's been a little bit. How are you guys feeling about this season? This is this invisible week. Do you guys feel like this is an invisible season?
I feel like it's pretty visible this week, actually. It seems like a lot of people are seeing a lot of things that maybe they shouldn't be seeing given the twist that we have, but some people can't keep their mouths shut, so it's not as invisible as I was hoping it would be. But I don't know, the season overall, it ebbs and flows for me. I'm like, some weeks I'm really invested, and other weeks I'm just tired, and I'm at the stage where I'm a little tired, I think. I'm a little tired.
I think the preseason was so strong. We had such strong characters in the beginning that now I feel like it's lost its pace. I think all of us were freaked out at how quickly the game has gone. And now I think we're seeing the effects of a quick pre-jury situation. And now we're getting kind of the consequences of that and some slow ass gameplay. I'm not going to lie. Whoever wins this season to me is going to be a mid-tier winner. It's unfortunate, but I think the way the game has played out, there's maybe 2 people I would make that exception for. But yeah, the gameplay hasn't been amazing for me personally. It's not in my taste. Some people like competitions, Cody, but I don't think that makes Big Brother. So, that's that on that.
Right. No, for sure. In terms of strategy, I think I've said this before. This is the best cast, of course, and I do agree, like, whoever wins the season, like, there's going to be very flawed. But overall, I did say this the other day, I feel like this season, post, like, All Stars 2, is the best one that we've gotten out of the new era. Like out of 23, 24, and 25, I've actually enjoyed the season a lot. We've had some hiccups like zombie weeks and as we're talking now, like invisible HOHs and double vetoes and stuff. But the cast itself has kept me entertained. Even though I'm not the biggest fan of like the people running the game, like credit where credit's due, they're doing their thing. The fights, I'm getting my fights. That's what we've been asking for a while. Like I'm getting my fix, but we can further break that down a little bit. But just to talk about last week's events before we get into everything that's going down today, we just left off of who was HOH? Bowie Jane HOH. Who saw that coming? Not me.
Not me.
But Bowie Jane wins HOH here, and what she's going to do is take the shot of the century, but not in the regular way. She wanted to put up Felicia and Suri with the expectation of Suri possibly leaving. Did just Was it smart for her to pivot after Matt and Jag told her to pivot, or like should she still have like kept her chops, really could go gun ho on Felicia and Suri this week?
I think either Cam or Corey was the right move. I think Cam was the better move of the two because Cam is just going to continue to win competitions. And at this point, you just have to take the shot when the shot is available to you, especially as a backdoor where he didn't, he didn't participate in the veto. So I think it was like the perfect opportunity to get him out. And finally, ding dong, the witch is dead. He got evicted unanimously 2 times. And he's our first juror, which is maybe not the best. I wasn't really hoping that he would be our first, maybe like our second. I think Corey would be a better first juror because I think he would have a better influence in terms of guiding people towards Suri, where we heard in Cam's exit press today that he thinks Jag is playing the best game, which is actually baffling. So, I think it was a good move for Bowie. Let's go, Bowie. I wish it was her idea and not Jag and Matt's, but, we'll take it how we can get it.
Yeah, to your point, Katie, I think that actually getting rid of Cameron wasn't a good move for Bowie Jane's personal game. Cameron wasn't going to betray Bowie Jane. I think he had a list of people he would go after before her. If anything, she would have been third because he was going to go for Blue, Corey, America. Well, America's a weird question mark, but hypothetically, Suri and Felicia before her, which is a lot of the house guests. And let's be honest, Bowie Jane is kind of a goat to pull into final 2. So realistically, going after Felicia and Suri would have been good for her game. Now, I, as a viewer, am not pro Bowie Jane. I'm not anti, but I'm not pro. So obviously, I love the idea of Felicia taking off the block. She's on my draft team. That's mother. So I was here for it. I was here for also like the idea of taking Suri off the block as well and her pivoting, which I thought was really interesting. But yeah, it was nice to see Cameron go. In fact, it was exquisite. If I do say so myself. So yeah, I'm glad he's gone. I don't think that was a great move for Bowie Jane. I think it was a great food. I don't even think it was really a great move for Matt and Jack, but it was a move. But I'm glad he's gone.
You're muted.
How about now?
You're good.
Sorry, I had a cough earlier. No, with Bowie, I'm in the camp where like, damned if you do, damned if you don't. Like, obviously, like Cam was kind of like working with her, but I don't think that, like, yes, like you're losing someone that's like kind of like down to work with you, but at the end of the day, she's ultimately kind of opening the pathway up for like her to have some sort of resume because she didn't really have one before, and I do think that some positive did come out of this. Like she lost some, but she did gain some. Matt in Jag though, I do think that this is actually the correct move. Yes, like AmeriCorey, that is definitely someone that you want to look at. But ultimately, their strategy, which is oddly enough working, and I don't know if we've seen this before, but like they're kind of in the camp where they're like, we don't really care about the numbers right now. As long as we take out every single person that can win a competition, it really doesn't matter what we have to do. And in hindsight, you'll be like, damn Matt, damn Jag, we hate them. But like, honestly, I can't hate the player for playing the game. Like they broke the system. This is more so something that production has to look at in future competition formats because it's very physical as we're seeing. And even the non-physical comps, I mean, they're doing their thing, and also, it's also a reflection of the cast. Like they have to take shots at each other and and until they do that, I can't blame these two for playing the game that's being dealt to them, so it's like, Jag, we'll get into Jag later, not the best player. And, Matt is also very flawed, but it's like, they're kind of, what they're doing is working, and it's like, as long as one of these two are in a position to win the HOH or veto, they could realistically just kind of steamroll to the end because the people who you do need to worry about, like Suri, she's like, I see that they're a threat, but like if they're taking me far, why do I stop them? Or Corey in America, they want to do something, they can't win it, and Corey's still looking at Blue and all. It's just a lot, so I can't fault I can't fault Jag and Matt too much, you know, but that's just me.
I think you're giving Jag and Matt a little too much credit, in the sense that you're saying like they broke the game. You know, I think there are players who come into the game and actually break the game purposefully. Like Evil Dick clearly cheated, like let's be fucking for real, multiple times during his season. And then the America's player, even though indirectly kind of doing that I think there's like that was done on purpose because there's strategy behind Evil Dick, even though he's a little bit of a menace. And then also same thing with like you know, Derek making a big alliance, and then also who was I gonna say? Kevin Martin from Big Brother Canada breaking the game in that same vein of just beasting out the competitions and memorizing dates. And like that was done on purpose. I don't think Jag and Matt are strategic masterminds where they're like, the game is so flawed. Let's do this. Mm-hmm. They just like aren't really thinking and it's getting to their advantage. And that's why I think they're more likely to win. And if they do win, I do think they're mid-tier winners. Even maybe even low tier for me personally. I would have to like look at all the winners before making that assessment. But yeah, and like to your point about Bowie Jane, about like damned if you do, damned if you don't, it kind of brings me to a point about throwing competitions. Bowie did not want to win. Let's stop giving real answers when we want to throw the competition. Someone pull a June and write 1 million.
Like exactly.
10 million. Go crazy. Write 1 billion for all I care. If you're throwing it, actually throw with purpose and not like, I hate the whole like I don't want to throw it and be obvious. When you throw or if you don't throw, people assume you throw regardless. So just do it with purpose and make it make sense. Like
I mean, she did put 67 effort. It's effort.
Not like horrible guess. I'm not gonna say it's an amazing guess, but
yeah, I get what you're saying.
No, because the rule isn't who's the closest. The rule is if you go above it, you're kind of out of the game. It's automatically the closest person towards the bottom, which I think is also kind of dumb. Personally, I think it should be. But yeah, like that's unfortunate. So if you're gonna throw a comp, go crazy. And hope that Julie Chen doesn't ask you what's the number. Because I think that's bad. But I digress.
And don't get me wrong. Before Kay is like, I don't think Matt and Jag are like some strategic masterminds. Like I said, like this is fully because production has like recycled the same competitions every year. They've been talking about a slip and slide coming up for weeks, you know, like the fact that we can kind of predict what comps are coming at this point. Like, I'm not saying that they broke the game intentionally. They just also like, they just realized that like, look, if we just like get these people out, then they can't beat us in comps. I can't fault them for that. I don't think they're like anything special. I actually compare them to like Tyler and Casey, where like, you know, Tyler and you know he did his thing, Casey she did her thing, but when we're talking about like the best duos, like we're not bringing up Tyler and Casey because they just kind of comped their way to the end at the end of the day, you know. So I kind of see the same thing here. Like they're very flawed. I don't think they're fantastic in any capacity, but in this predicament, like, yeah, you know, you're kind of right. Like, you can just take all the beast out. Who's really going to stop you at this point, you know? So, that's all. But go ahead, Katie. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree with both of you. I think they totally fell backwards into this potentially game-winning strategy. I would give Matt a little bit more credit because I think he is better socially than Jag, where I feel like it seems like people are going to be more burned by Jag than they will be by Matt. I think he has a much better social game. I also give Matt credit because he was obviously clearly a recruit and he is in the house with a disability, and that means he's playing completely, you know, he has to play on hard mode at all times, and he's really come into his own and he's actually playing pretty well in comparison to Jag. Like, I think Jag is out front making more mistakes than Matt is. Matt's kind of sitting back and letting Jag make those mistakes and not allowing them to become his mistakes also. So I do think Matt's playing a decent game, and I think he's probably playing a winning game more than Jag is playing a winning game, even though he's not necessarily like comping out the way that Jag is comping out. I just think strategically he's in a little bit of a better place. I think with Bowie, to what you said about Bowie working with Cameron, I think it's not necessarily a bad move for Bowie, in my opinion, just because Cameron wasn't working with Bowie. He was just like, didn't care about Bowie either way. Like, Bowie doesn't have anybody that wants to work with Bowie other than supposedly Matt and Jag. But like, do they really care about Bowie? Not really. She's just like part of a voting block for them, as we, you know, maybe we can call it that. But Cameron's never going to look out for Bowie at the end of the day. He's always going to choose the bros over her. And we saw the way that he kind of, spoke to her, and he said to her, I protected you this whole time. And I think like I agree with her. He really didn't protect her. He just like didn't put her on the block. That's not protecting anybody. Like she was never in the line of fire, and he never did anything to help her game. He just didn't put her on the block because there were other more obvious targets than her. I think that's a very specific difference.
I think if Bowie Jane were to pick between Corey and Cameron, I think for her game, Cameron does make sense in the sense that he has no allies. But I do think that Cameron prioritizes Bowie Jane more than, let's say, Corey. So that's why, to a degree, like also like what is America gonna do? Go against Bowie Jane? Like she's gonna be alone in her island. She's gonna have to pivot regardless. So yeah, it's an interesting. She should have just not won and let Felicia win it, and we would have had a great week full of seasoning and a lot of Mr. B's.
Yeah, so, a lot of Mr. B's.
Oh, Mr. B's. Shout out to Natalie. She look exquisite right now. Thank you. Thank you, Natalie. Appreciate it. But okay, so basically what we're going to from that nominations is set. Obviously, this was a successful blindside. Cam's thrown on the block. Sari offering to stay on the block. We'll talk about that later. But Felicia's up there. Cam, we saw the exit interviews and everything. Like Cam had no shot. I think he accepted it, but did do some sort of damage on the way out. Subtle, but unfortunately, the people who did digest it, it's like, what are you going to do with it? He does.
Sorry.
Go ahead. No, go. You're good.
I was just saying, I want to address some of the Cam fans. I've seen a lot of comments on Twitter. I mean, obviously, a lot of them are casuals, but I think there have been some comments on Twitter saying that like Cameron's one of the best Big Brother players of all time, which I really just feel like we need to address the fact that he's actually an awful Big Brother player. He just can win competitions, but his reads are bad. He works with people. He cannot make a personal connection to save his game life or his regular life, probably. I mean, he's just a really, really, really bad player. And then even hearing his exit press today, I was just kind of rolling my eyes at every answer that he gave because like, of course he thinks Jag is playing the best game. Jag might be playing the worst game in the entire house. I think at this point, aside from Bowie, even Bowie, I think is maybe playing a better game than Jag. I don't know. I'm upset that Cameron is our first juror. I really don't want him to sway the future jurors in any direction, but I don't think that he will have that kind of influence. Yeah.
I think people only started saying that. I mean, this is no disrespect, no shade, no clipping on this, but I think it's only because Derek and Cody said that he was playing like he was like the best player of the season or something. Like I think
people to take it.
We're not dissing nobody. Stop. But I'm done.
Sure?
I've gone through too much drama this week.
I'll take the heat for it. I don't give a.
No. We don't need no ops. But
someone's still mad about the traders.
Stop.
That's all I have to say.
Stop. But back on track. But basically, before he left, we're really seeing Cam kind of like drop some hints to people. Like, look, Matt and Jag are really together. These are the people you need to worry about. And the two prime people who kind of digest this to some capacity is America and Blue. Now, unfortunately, America, she does kind of start believing all this. She tries to drop this to Corey. Corey's going to shut this down immediately. But Blue is really the important person that needs to listen to this. We're seeing Sari kind of try to drop this information to her. We're seeing America eventually also try to drop this information to her. And when we start talking about people's plans, we can break that all down. But ultimately, going into this week after Cam is eliminated, we're going to see that Blue does need this information. Julie's going to drop a little hint on us before we break out anyone's games that an invisible HOH is in play. And there's going to be a double veto. And obviously, Jag wins the HOH. We don't know who wins the veto yet. But, like, how do you guys feel about this twist at this point when everything was about to blow up? Everyone was about to, like, start a war. Like, how do you guys feel about that?
Before we jump into the twist, I do want to just say for Cameron, I wish I had his level of delusion. It's a little too late. You came into the game, you had some power, and you threw it to the garbage, and you said, I'm going to work with the people who are in charge only to be at the bottom. Boo-hoo, so sad, bye. In terms of the twist, it had potential. The double veto, no. Why? Okay, I think my frustration with the twist right now is that we're deviating from what Big Brother is supposed to be. Zombie Week's a big example of that,
Yeah.
and I think some of the twists this season have really derailed the purpose of what Big Brother is at its core. Um, and I know it's because it's the 25th season, it's a quarter quell. So they're throwing anything at the wall, especially since it's supposed to be 100 days. But I just feel like when you lose the concept of a game, is it really worth it? The Invisible HOH, I love, love, love. Because it still keeps the integrity of the game, except the HOH is anonymous, which is still nice. But then the double veto is kind of like the diamond powered veto as well, or these weird POVs that we get. Like, I think there's too much happening for 1 week. If you're gonna do two vetoes, do it 1 week. If you're gonna do Invisible HOH, do it another week. Like, don't put both of them together. I just feel like it's chaos in a cup. But it had so much potential depending on who won. Unfortunately, the person who won was Jag. But imagine if Corey had won, or even like America or Cherie or Felicia or literally anyone else in the house except for Jag and Matt, like, and Bowie, because she couldn't compete, I'm assuming. So like there is so much potential and it just is unfortunately wasted. So I'm always pro HOH, Invisible HOH. We've had great weeks from it. Notably Victoria and Santina. It makes great television. It's enjoyable. Their strategy, people get paranoid, especially at that point with the setup of the house, how it could have like swung at any pendulum. But it's unfortunate that Jags the HOH. I'm hoping that the POV is accessible and that we can maybe see some interesting gameplay from it, because the veto is the one of the biggest points of the season, it seems.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%, Josie. I was so excited to hear Invisible HOH because of the great TV we got from Santina, from Victoria. I think we even had Claire take over Tiffany's HOH in Big Brother 23. And I don't know why they would have made such a physical competition. We know that HOH was BB Comics, and I just don't know why they would have made such a physical competition and also shown the house guests the times of the competition. In order, to just like shed light that, okay, obviously 8 minutes, it's not going to be Surya or Felicia, so we know it's not them. Like, I just don't know why they wouldn't have made it an equitable competition, because this was the week where someone could have really made such a huge impact on the game as an Invisible HOH. They could have taken such a shot at any one of the duos in the house, whether it's, Surya and Felicia, it doesn't seem like many people are coming for them in earnest right now, but like to be able to break up Corey and America, or Jag and Matt, almost Jag and Matt more specifically than Corey and America at this point. It just felt like that was a perfect shot to take. And, we'll talk about the nominations, obviously, but I just, I'm just disappointed that everybody knows it's Jag at this point. I'm disappointed that the competition was not fair for everybody. And I'm disappointed that this veto, we don't really know if it's a diamond power veto or if it really is going to be like whoever wins the veto can take 2 people down or what. It's just too much. It's just too much. And I think it had potential to be a really fun week, and we just twisted ourselves out of it and comped ourselves into a corner of just like, clearly it could only have been 2 specific people who won. So I don't know.
I personally was not a fan of the Invisible HOH. I think they planned this a long time ago. There's no proof to tell if like they did this to help somebody or not. But going into this week, like we were about to see chaos. We were about to see Mary Corey finally start something. We are about to see Jag and Matt start something. We were about to possibly see a lot of people throw HOH to blue. We could have, in some universe, saw Felicia or Cherie win something. It just like, I feel like this was the week where a lot of people are finally forced to like put a line in the sand and show where the true cards are, and now that you have this barrier of an Invisible HOH, incentivizes people like Jag who are thinking about throwing the HOH to be like, oh, I can win it now, I want Big Brother to have enough faith in their cast to just like let them play the game, let the game blow up, let everyone kind of like have to like show like, all right, I'm fake. Like now with this Invisible HOH, everyone has plausible deniability. Everyone can be like, I don't know who the HOH is. I didn't know. If you did not have this, let's say Jag somehow wins it, he has to look blue in the face and be like, I'm putting you on the block. If not Blue, then he has to look at America and Corey or Felicia. Like, you have to force people to nominate people. But now they're hiding behind this where a lot of crap was about to blow up. And now we're kind of in for like a very safe week. And, I was ready for the chaos, but, what are you going to do? But
I just think we got drawn a bad hand with Jag winning. Like, Jag is the worst person to win this HOH because I don't know if it's that he plays a scared game or he just has no strategy or a combination of both of those things. But these nominations that he put up made literally no sense. And I'm glad that Felicia, I guess we'll talk, his nominations are Felicia and Blue. And it's just like, you're putting up pawns when you are the invisible HOH. You chose to let people know that you're the invisible HOH so you can get blood on your hands. You're sitting there saying, I'm probably going to tell Suri, everyone's going to know at the end of the week. Like, use this to your advantage and take a big shot. But you're playing, I don't understand the logic behind the game that Jag is playing right now. And it's just so frustrating to watch because I do think we could have had chaos, maybe a different kind of chaos than you're saying, Isaiah, chaos in the background of trying to figure out who the person is. But this week we just get bad gameplay and no chaos because everybody already knows it's Jag. So it's like we get the worst of both worlds.
I mean, even if Jag didn't win HOH, like, just force these people, like, even if it was Suri, I know People's Champion, make Suri be forced to show what she's trying to do.
Right.
Like I don't want everyone to just be under the radar and not doing anything all day. Like, I'm tired of watching Corey and America lay in bed. Suri just walk around in her robe. Felicia is the only one saying anything, and then Matt and Jag are to do stuff. Like, I want everybody to be forced to play the game, and it's like Blue, who probably could have blew up on someone, now still trust Matt. And let me jump ahead. Do you have anything to say before I move on?
Yeah, I do want to say something. The reason why I disagree is because the narrative prior to the HOH and the announcement of this week was everyone is scared. We also, the casuals and the life leaders, saw it. That was the dialogue being had with Corey. People are afraid to say Jag and Matt's name, and vice versa. No one's telling Corey to his face, hey, I want to put you in America on the block. That was the narrative leading up to the week. So to me, an invisible HOH, when we're discussing how people want to make the moves but are afraid to because it's associated with their names, the aspect of invisible HOH creates a barrier of protection to a degree to actually do something. Like, this season is starting to write itself and it's getting boring. And so that's why when you get someone who's like, I'm kind of afraid to like put my neck out there, I think if Sari was the invisible HOH, it would have been a week of good television. If Felicia would have gotten it, it would have been a week of good television. I think Corey winning, even though Corey has some terrible takes, at least something shape, because I feel like Corey would take that and kind of run with it. To be fair, I've seen Corey do some dumb things, so maybe I'm like giving him credit and like he would have probably flopped. I don't know, but I have a feeling that he could have done something this week. So it is unfortunate that we get Jag as invisible HOH, but I do think that the invisible HOH was a good path of change, like setting something in motion and like letting the chaos ensue, because the whole point is to be paranoid. Oh my God, who put it up? Who put me up? Put assumptions. That's fun because that creates chaos in itself. So this house can't handle chaos and paranoia. Let's be real. So like, this would have been an entertaining week had it not been someone who ran their mouth from the jump. Even the nominations, had Jag not said he was invisible HOH, it would have been like, what the fuck? Who did that? Who put me up? I it would have been on one, So
realistically, everyone but Suri would have told somebody, though, if you also want to put that in perspective. Bowie would have told Matt and Jag would have told each other, AmeriCorey are telling each other, and Blue can't keep a secret. So it's like realistically, you're just relying on one of 8 people to win this competition for like any kind of like secrecy and chaos, but I completely understand, like, in theory, and this is most Big Brother twists, most of them make a lot of sense. Like Camp Comeback, I think that was like mad potential, but obviously that cast couldn't handle that, and they made it something way worse. You know what I'm saying? Like they have good ideas. It's just like there's a lot of luck to hope, and especially like this late in the game, it's final 8, and we're still doing twists. And like as you said, a double veto with that, like, it's crazy. But yeah. But anyway. So Jag is our HOH. We don't know how it is, but it seems like it was some sort of. It was BB
It
Comics.
was
The
BB
one that they usually
Comics.
do for Veto was the HOH this time. It seems like America was in second place, which would have been interesting. I think she would have put up Matt and Jag. But it is what it is. But Jag is our HOH. He nominates as far as literally like an hour ago. He put up Sari and Felicia. As I
No,
believe
Blue and Felicia.
Blue and Felicia. I'm so sorry. Blue and Felicia. I believe he let Matt know. And who else did he tell about it? Does anyone remember who else he told about his HOH?
I don't know who he actually told or who figured it out, but I think pretty much
So we
everybody
figured it
except for
out.
Blue.
Okay.
That I
Yeah,
know.
Suri figured it out. I don't know if Corey and America know officially or not, or if they are assuming. I haven't been super, tuned into the feeds today, but I know sounds like the majority of the people know, but Blue is totally in the dark somehow. I don't understand how, but
Even though America and Suri were like telling her, don't
yeah,
trust
and
these
Cam, like literally they all were like, they're gonna come for you. Which
Oh man.
I just don't. Okay, now
Jag
in the
told
chat says
Corey.
Jag told Corey. It's just like,
Okay.
dude, why?
An idiot.
A total idiot. And I just like, why are you targeting Blue of all people? Like it just does not make sense to me. It makes no sense. Break up America and Corey. One of them will come to your side probably, and if not, they can't win a competition to save their lives anyway. So like, does it really matter? Why are we all so scared? The only two people in the house that can really, other than a crapshoot, win competitions are Matt and Jag at this point. So what are we so scared of? I just don't understand.
I mean, Matt's been telling Jag, like, let's take a shot at them for like the longest time. It's usually Jag who's like, no, we can't do AmeriCorey yet. Like they want to work with. I think Jag secretly, and I know he said otherwise, I think he really wants to work with America and Corey to the fore. Like I think in his mind, it's always been him, Matt, and America and Corey. Now we do know that like his end game plans that they discussed is having some kind of some 5-person alliance, even if it's nothing solidified, but it's some kind of circle between Matt, Corey, Felicia, Suri, and Bowie. That's what they're thinking about because they're like, shout out Rewind. Jack is an Ashton moron. That's my Survive Philly people. Shout out. But there was that 5, and they're like, let's take those 3 to the end because we can beat them in all the competitions. And that's fair.
It's not a bad. It's not a bad read.
It's not.
Yeah.
But Jag, I always feel like has some ulterior motive because he'll say one thing and then like when it's time to actually do it, he'll be like, no, bro, no, we can't do this. Not yet, not yet. Like Matt's been trying to get America and Corey split up for weeks. And Jag is usually the one that says, no, we can't do it. It's too early. And I'm getting tired of it because I feel like this is such a waste of an easy broken power to just like completely throw someone up. Everybody would have not expected Jag to be the one who did it. Like it would have been like sweet, but like cold feet, this guy just completely ruined it. And now we have an interesting situation where 2 vetoes can be won. I don't think Sari's winning it. She hasn't won anything. But let's say somehow Felicia and Blue win the veto. This is some weird universe.
Do we know officially if it's 2 people can win the veto, one person wins 2 vetoes? Is it a diamond power veto? We don't know.
I think it's just 2 separate vetoes.
Here's why I think that's such a shitty idea. Because if the 2 power vetoes are the typical power veto in a world, and I don't think this will happen, but let's say hypothetically, Corey and America both pull out a veto. They both veto both nominations. It forces Jag to put up Bowie Jane and Suri, Bowie Jane and Matt, or Matt and Suri. Like that's a little insane. Great television. Don't think it'll happen, but like it just doesn't make any sense. Like, why are we? I can't. It's like why are we having an invisible HOH with nonsense, and then a power veto that does not make sense, that has not been elaborated on? Like, I can't. Like.
And they know about it. Like they know that there's a veto twist. Why are we telling the house guests that there's a twist to the veto? So they can be scared with their nominations? Like it just doesn't make sense. Like don't we want to just like throw them off at the veto competition and then let them know? Like why are we giving them a 2-day head start to say like, oh, there's a veto twist, so then I have to be really scared of my nominees because if 2 of them can win or someone can take both of them down, then I need to put 2 pawns up, even though Blue is the target. Like it just nothing makes sense to me at all with the way that production put this week together and with the way the Jag is playing the game.
I just feel like
Sorry.
sometimes. Oh, sorry.
You're
I
fine.
just
Keep going.
I just feel like sometimes Big Brother US and like whatever. I'm not afraid. I'm pro Big Brother Canada. I just feel like they like to copy Big Brother Canada's homework and change it up and
Yep.
just make it worse. So like the invisible HOH, like we should have had an equitable competition. They literally counted rocks for Victoria's HOH. It doesn't get more equitable than that. You don't even have to hear the rocks. You just have to see them. So everyone's on the same page. Everyone. Like it's right there. All you have to do is press a button. And they're choosing actively not to do that. So I just don't get that. Oh Lord. Oh my God. Take it off.
I just had to. Yeah, we have done this before, so I had to recheck. Yeah.
So what was
literally
it?
just 2 vetoes. It was literally 2 vetoes. That
So
could be
one person won the 2 vetoes, or were there 2 winners?
There was 2 different winners of the veto.
Shit. First and second place.
Realistically, we can have 4 people immune going into this veto ceremony with a very small amount of people who can actually be put up on the block. So keep that in
You
mind.
see what I mean? This is what I mean, copying the homework and not doing it right. So already we talked about the HOH, but like even the POV, having them find another power veto and saying you have 2 weeks to use it. You know what I mean? Like a William moment where he like crawled in some garbage and shit, like in a secret room. Like, give me this. I can't. Like, it's like we're just throwing anything at the wall. You would think for the 25th season, they would have methodically thought out everything, made things equitable, and they're just. It's like throwing. You know when you're like cooking pasta and like you're trying to see if it's cooked or not, so you throw it at the wall. That's what this feels like. This is what this season feels like to me. I'm tired. Enough. I can't.
Yeah. Also, if you're going to cast such a diverse cast of ages and physical makeup and all, like, why are we still having such physical competitions? Like, you're automatically putting these competitions out there that the majority of your cast is probably not going to be able to win. And you know that. And it's nothing negative against Suri or Felicia or even Bowie. Like, if Bowie was playing BB Comics, is she going to win? Probably not. No. So it's just like, why are we, and I'm not saying we shouldn't have BB Comics, that's an iconic thing, whatever. It should have stayed a veto. It shouldn't be the invisible HOH competition. That competition, exactly, Josie, should have been like counting rocks or like watching a video and like observing like whatever, just something that anybody can participate in and have an equal playing field. But this is like completely the opposite of an equal playing field.
Well, there you go. So yes, those are our 2 nominees for the week. Just wanted to talk about a few other people's games because realistically, there's not a lot to talk about after this. This is going to be a very straightforward week. Really, just comes down to who wins veto, unfortunately. But let's talk about America and Corey for a little bit. Who realistically, how are they still in the game? There's a lot of modern day seasons where showmasters are just making it so far, and this is another situation. I mean, America and Corey, they're not playing the best. Obviously, if Corey has built a very like bitter cast of people, but I'm curious to see what happens if they get split up. I think America shockingly would do a lot better. I've been very vocal against America on social media, but realistically, but listen, America can actually do something here if Corey gets out. We did see her talking to Blue last week, basically saying, yesterday, and not even yet last week. She was talking to Blue yesterday, basically saying, hey, look, I know that I can't beat Corey in the end. And Blue's like, I know that I can't beat Matt and Jag in the end. America's like, you need to win HOH and like do something about that so we can work together. So she's basically trying to get somebody to take a shot at Corey for her so she can just do what she needs to do. And, I respect it because if she gets someone to snipe Corey out the game, then she can basically work with Suri, she can work with the Felicia, she can work with whoever she wants. The only problem is that all the people she would like to work with cannot win anything. Big brother, fix your problem with competitions. But how do we feel about the Games of America and Corey? Like Corey completely destroyed his capital for America, and seems like he's going to go down with the ship. I think America does have a realistic path, and I do think that Corey leaves before America, if anything. So, how do we feel about that?
I think Corey probably leaves before America as well, but I think a lot of the cast looks at America almost like a Bowie Jane at this point. Like, why are we going to waste a nominee or an HOH on America? Like, I think they see Corey as more of like the game player, but I don't really know why, because I personally don't feel like Corey's really even playing the game that much at this point. Like he was at the beginning, and I don't know if it's just that he got complacent or what it is, but I don't know. I just think I don't know. I don't know what he's trying to do, if he's just trying to get to the final 6, 5, whatever. But like neither one of them can really win anything. I mean, Corey won the double HOH, but that's really it. I don't really know what their path forward is. I unless like they're taking each other forward, but they need to win something in order to be able to do that. Like Sari can't stand Corey. She wants him gone. If we're listening to Jag, I guess next week Corey will be gone. Matt doesn't want to work with Corey. Like Bowie Jane, I think she prefers Matt and Jag over Corey in America at this point. I don't really know where her head's at. So like, and Felicia, is going to want Corey out the door too. So, I mean, I think Jag is really making a really big enemy out of Felicia. So like, if she wins something, I think she's going for Jag, if anything. But I don't know. I just don't know what either one of their paths forward are.
I think Corey's just a lot more vocal, and he's kind of been painted as like a head figure for like certain votes, like specifically the Jared one, obviously, or like when Felicia was calling people out. When Felicia was calling people out, she was calling out Corey. So it's like, I get it, and honestly, take Corey out, because if Corey gets to the end against some people, he probably wins because perception. And I don't even think Corey's that good. But America, I will say, as long as Corey's in the game, will never win anything, because I think America just simply doesn't have the respect of her castmates. And we've seen time and time again, Felicia's calling her out, saying, hey, you think you can win sitting under Corey's wing? Cam's like, look, everyone doesn't respect your game. I think realistically, nobody respects America's game. And I'm going to be real with you. I don't respect her game either. I think she needs to be a solo player without the showmance to actually really thrive in here. I've seen a lot of people who have a lot of potential to win, like Holly lost to Jackson because she stayed with the showmance. Claudia lost to Ty because she was in the showmance. And I mean, eventually, she didn't get to the finals, but Angela would have lost to Tyler. There's plenty of people, to be honest with you. So it's like a lot of these people, specifically like America, you need to like, I'm glad that she's like dropping seeds to people like, take Corey out for me, so she can do her thing. But she's going to need a comp win, and she's going to need Corey out of here if she has any kind of future winning the season, in my opinion. But it's going to be a hard road for them in general. So yeah.
I also just feel like it's so late for them to turn it on, like for America to turn it on. I don't know. And the couples that you mentioned, Isaiah, I felt like those were more like they were not necessarily partnerships, but like both of them were winning comps. Holly and Jackson both won comps. Claudia and Ty both won comps. Tyler and Angela both won comps. They made decisions together. Corey and America are not making any decisions because they're not winning anything. But sorry, Josie, go ahead. I talked enough about these two.
No, it's okay. They provide nothing. Corey used to be self-aware icon talking about rating systems on the internet and reading correctly. I don't know if it's the showmance or the mustache. It's giving nothing. It's giving nothing. It's giving no. It's like we lost fundamental math, because 1 + 1 = 2. But Corey in America, I don't know. It's like they're lost in the making out sauce. I'm tired. I'm over it. One of them needs to go, preferably Corey at this rate. I'm so sorry, because America's actually giving some reads that I'm like, yes, girl, act on it. And Corey keeps shutting her down. And it's so funny because it used to be the opposite. I don't know if like America just like took Corey's game sense and like ran with it, but that's what it's given. But she is so in this relationship, boyfriend and girlfriend. Love that for them, by the way. Congratulations. But besides the point, I'm just saying, like, it's not giving game players. And what's crazy to me, and that's what's crazy to me, because they're both fans of the show. America's on the Twitter streets. It's not an easy place to be on the Twitter streets, okay? And the fact that she's on it, she knows what's up. She's watched the show. She's a fan of the show. That is why I picked her in my draft. Same thing with Corey. Corey loves this show. Loves, we'll call it relative, but he loves the show. So it's just, to me, it's like actually crazy. Jag and Matt, they don't claim to be fans, but like those two who claim and own that badge proudly, they have yet to show me common sense. Taking out Izzy, bad idea. Jared, I can understand, whatever. But it's just like, I don't get it. Like, I don't get it. And like Corey being blinded by the Jag and Matt of it all, like King, like if you were watching the show, you as well would be feeling the way I'm feeling right now. So I just, it's actually mind-boggling to me. It's mind-boggling to me that the two of them are sitting there with their hands like beneath, and it's like Corey wants to throw the HOH. Do you have place to throw HOH, Corey? Be serious. Like, it's like he like completely lost his navigation once he started playing at the top. It's like he didn't want to play there, but then he did the moves to do that, and then he got completely confused on what to do, and he's never been back to that Corey that we were kind of seeing impressive gameplay by. There's still some game left to be played, but I highly doubt it's gonna be by his hand.
You sounded like McCall in the storage room just now.
Yeah, that's my sister. But yeah, even what, Corey Loki is doing some McCall's talking to himself, playing pool and doing absolutely nothing. Yeah, the both of them. But McCall, she made it interesting. So
yep,
her reads were correct. So
yes,
yeah, but yeah, you said everything that I had to say. I listen. If you want to see any of my thoughts about AmeriCorps, just look at my Twitter. Like I'm very like I'm. But anyway, outside of them, Suri. What does Suri have to do at this point to get to the end?
I mean, I could see Suri possibly making it to the end by doing what she's doing now, which is not really that much. I think, her reads are still good, but I don't think that her heart is in the game as it was in the beginning. I think her passion for the game really left when Izzy left, not even when Jared left, when Izzy left. I think that's where things really started to kind of unravel for her, in the sense of just like, she was over it. She wasn't having fun. Even when Izzy was there, she was saying she wasn't having fun playing the game. It was too long for her. So, whatever. There's a lot of sitting around doing nothing. So the competitions are all ridiculous and things that she probably doesn't have a great chance to win. But I do think that she could make it to the end, because I don't think anybody's seeing her as a huge threat, and almost, I have to be honest, rightfully so. And that's not to take anything away from Suri and her, icon status, but she's not doing that much right now in Big Brother. Like, she's not doing a lot, and maybe that's a good thing, because if she was doing too much, she'd probably be out the door. But I just don't know that she's doing enough to win the game at the end of the day either, unless she really turns it on for like the last 30 days, which doesn't really seem like it's going to happen.
Here's the thing with Suri. I think as long as Corey's in the jury and she somehow gets herself to the end, like, I think Corey will be a voice for her strictly because of her status, and that will like elevate her to a lot of heights that, like, unfortunately she doesn't even need to be playing that good. Like, that alone can get her very far. I think the best bet for Suri realistically is hoping that Jag gets sniped, and that will open up a lot of opportunities. Because Matt right now, he's like the golden child, right? And if Matt loses his right hand in Jag, I think Suri automatically becomes the next up in line for that. And I can see Matt wanting to take Suri to the end, and Suri could really give Matt a run for his money if Jag somehow gets out this house. I still do think Matt is the person to win, but if anybody in this cast is suited to possibly beat him, Suri's literally the only one. Her other possible chance of doing this is if they snipe Corey out the game and then America becomes hers. If they do that way, then there's also a whole nother world of opportunities. That's just depending on who wins competitions, obviously. It's really, and this is, I hate that Big Brother's become this. This is not the challenge, but you need to win challenges at the end phase of this game if you really want to do things. So obviously Suri's not going to win this stuff. So she needs the right hands of these other players to go home so she can actually have life in this game. But that's the unfortunate reality for her at this point.
Katie, you had said something about like Cherie not having to do anything. And I genuinely think it's not because she does not want to, it's because this is the cast and this is how
Hmm.
the game is currently set up. Joseph in the comments wrote something about like it's frustrating that Cherie will like probably breathe and get 75K. But it's like we literally just like that's what she needs to do. Like
Yeah.
Cherie going out of her way to pull moves is just going to make a target out of herself. Like what happened was she was making moves. We saw her in control of the game. And then the pendulum swung the other way, just like it did in her favor. And they got rid of Izzy and Jared, her people, right? So right now she needs to walk her way to the top, and she has to do so methodically, because honestly, let's be real, it does not take much for someone to be like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna flip around. Like that's what it's giving. So at this point it can seem a little slow and frustrating as a game like player, or like someone who enjoys strategy, but it's literally the best move for her. We saw it. She knows that once they start going at her, they don't see her as competition. And you know what? Some people might be like, they're not going to vote for her. She's already been on 3 shows. They're not going to vote for her. But all it takes is talking to that jury in those final 2 chairs to then switch things around. And I think Suri has that ability to talk and influence and persuade people to give her that vote. So honestly, I don't think there's anything she can do right now. I think
Hmm.
her most important thing to do was rebuild that relationship with Felicia. And because
Yeah.
McCole left, that opened that window for her and Felicia to kind of be on the same page again, which was really nice because I do think they needed each other. It's just unfortunate that it had to come through the demise of McCole. And so, do I love it when Cherie gets in the game and starts moving chess pieces? Of course. I love the strategy. I love the game. But she can't do anything right now without jeopardizing her place. So what she's doing right now is exactly what she needs to do to get to the end. It's just a question of who is she going to get to the end with. I definitely
Hmm.
see her taking final five, and if it's a Lord forbid, please, if it's the both of the couples, someone's gonna have to swing. So
Yeah.
there we have it.
Yeah, I
Right.
agree. Josie, I agree. I think with Suri, I think she probably does have to do nothing to get there. And my hope is that Matt, I think the biggest thing is that Bowie, I would like to see Bowie back with Suri and Felicia, even though they never really cared for her. I think that was a pretty big loss and it could have led to Suri going home. They really mismanaged, both of them really mismanaged that relationship with Bowie Jane. But I do think if they could get her back, and if Jag can get out of the house and she can get back in as Matt's number one, like that'll be the most important thing for her. I think the biggest hit to her game at this point is not having Matt in that, like, as her, having her Matt having her as his number one. That was a sentence, but I think, if she can get back in that place with Matt, I think he'll take her to the end, and I do think that she beats Matt at the end. I do. We'll see. Honestly, she could probably beat any of these people if she
I
gets. It's
think
just a matter
Matt's
of
the
her
only
getting
one
there.
that could be there
Yeah, Matt, I
personally.
think, is the only one that's going to take her. I
Yeah.
think is the problem. I don't think she's going to get
Yeah.
herself there.
I do think Matt is the front runner to win still. So we'll have to see about that. But yeah, there's not really much else to talk about with these people. Unless you guys
You
can
don't want
think
to
of
talk
something.
about
But
Blue, Miss Kitty Cat Purr?
I mean, what's there to talk about? Like, I'm no shade, but it's like I've given up.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never had faith. I know a lot of people had like this sudden abundance of like, oh, Blue is playing such a game. No, she hasn't. Like, she seems very fun, very nice, but like, come on. She's still like putting
Gorgeous.
all her eggs. She's been constantly putting her eggs in the Matt and Jag basket, and they play in her face every single time. Oh, let's take out Sari, not Jared. Boom, you got played. Oh, let's take out America and Corey. Boom, you got played. Oh, yeah, let's run into the end with Sari. Boom, you're on the block by Jag. How many times can you get played? Like, this is literally the Cameron issue, but now that Cameron's out, transfer it to Blue. Like, I'm just seeing a repeat process of like she constantly is trusting them, even to this point. Before we got on here, I don't know if anything's changed since then. I'm watching feeds. She's coming to the realization I'm nominated. First two people she talked to is Jag and Matt. After all this, Cerise telling her, "Oh yeah, it's definitely those two." And Blue's like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think
Yeah.
Matt's actually still good. I think we can still trust Matt. Like, get out of here, bro. Like, come on. No, I don't want to hear any defending it.
No,
Like,
no,
this
no,
is
no, 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 no. Let me speak. Let me
no,
speak. Let me
she
speak.
did
Let me
it.
speak. Let me speak.
Bad.
Let me just clarify something.
She's bad.
Now, I am not usually at the defense of Blue, but let's be real. Jag and Matt nominating Blue is a dumbass idea. I think
Yeah.
she thinks that would be the dumbest move ever made. And so she's like, there's no way it could be that because it is a dumb move. Jag is an idiot game-wise.
Okay.
And like, okay,
Okay.
I'm not personally don't know the king. I wish him nothing but the best. But in this game, the moves are not moving. They're not doing what they're supposed to do because it's actually dumb. Who does Blue have? Exactly. No one but them. So it's just to me, I understand why she's like, there's no way. Because it's actually dumb. It's actually dumb. Like
It
I'm
can be
sorry.
dumb, but like realistically, just replaced Blue with Bowie. And Cerise not going anywhere.
No,
So
it's
it could be,
not-
listen, she's
no,
not bringing anything to the table. She has
no.
no connections. She's not winning any
Sure.
comps. And anything she tells, it goes straight to America. So it's, look, it is a dumbass move. I agree with you, but it's also dumbass to actually still fall for something when three people tell you not to do
Yeah.
it.
no,
It's
no.
a problem. It's a
Let
problem.
me finish.
Not put
Because
any
Matt and
Blue.
Jag,
She's
Matt
bad.
and Jag want to play the middle. Bowie
They
Jean
can
is not-
afford it.
Matt and Jag want to play the middle, but they rather go in the middle between Corey and America and Bowie Jane. That's their ideal situation. They're idiots because Bowie Jane will never look at Blue and go, "Girl, let's link up. Let's go against them." They're idiots. Corey and America have at least a little bit of common sense where they're going to be like, okay, let's get these people on our side and then go after them. Like if Matt Jag had, I'm not going to even talk about Matt because he's been trying to get them. But if Jag had some common sense, he would know that to be in the middle, the best move would be to get rid of one of Corey and America. What is America going to do? Win a competition? Okay, there is a veto. Like, it just doesn't make sense.
All right,
Like,
so I got a question. Do you think Jag and Matt have a path to the end right now? Even when they did this move?
Yeah.
I think they have a path, but it's much
All right,
harder.
now even if they do or
It's
don't,
much
does Blue-
harder. That's my point.
Let me
harder.
listen. So here's my question. Does Matt and Jag doing the move or not have a path to the end? Yes or
I
no?
think regardless.
Yes
they
or
have
no?
Let me finish.
I just want a yes or no. I just want a yes or no. I just want a yes or no. I just want a yes or no.
Questions and then you don't want to hear my answer.
Because I got a point.
Wait, my point is, yes, they have a path to the end, but it's much harder. Why make this game difficult for yourself?
Okay. Does Blue have a path to the end with or without this?
Without what?
No.
Without what?
Like, listen, like with or without Jag, she has no path to the end. I'm telling you.
She's not making it.
Are you kidding
Like-
me? Everyone has a path to the end. Let's not.
She
Let's
don't.
not. Don't piss me off now.
She
Don't
don't.
piss me off now.
Who
Everyone
wants to
has-
take her to the
interject?
end?
If you
Can
are
I,
still in
can
the
I
house-
share an update
Yeah.
from Twitter? And
Yes.
since we've been recording, Corey and America are now saying that Matt and Jag are the best allies in the house because of this move, and now maybe want to go to Final Four with them.
Yeah,
So-
such a bad move.
Maybe it's
Such a
not the
bad
worst move for
No,
them after all.
No. Let me explain. If you are in the house, you have a path to the end. How you navigate yourself to make
Who's
the end
taking
what
Blue to the
matters.
end at this point?
She could low-key link up with America. She could low-key link up with, Sabrina and Felicia. Like, you don't forget we have a double veto. I feel like you're thinking like the game is over.
I don't. I'm just saying, even if she survives this week, she's not winning the game.
You know what? Here's the thing. In the Big Brother house, especially this season, expect the unexpected. You do
Who
not
does
know what will
Blue?
happen
Who does
in the
Blue?
house.
Who does Blue beat in this cast right now? I only see like one person.
I'm
Who's the
telling you
one?
right now,
I
there
don't
is
even know if you can say
game
Bowie
to
anymore.
be
I don't think she
played.
could be Bowie.
There is game to be played. There is
For
game to be
sure.
played.
But we've been saying this every week. I'm just to revisit the Nicole thing. Shout out Nicole. Nicole, everyone was
Oh,
saying Nicole there's so much game to be played. She's going to change it up. And what happened? Nothing. So I'm just
And I feel like
I'm
we're saying
just
the same thing about America. She's a fan. She just has to win. She'll win the wall. She'll win this.
and
She'll win
what's
that.
she
But she
gonna
hasn't won
do?
anything, and she hasn't done anything.
Nothing.
Yeah.
So I'm just
you know what?
waiting
I
for
hope
Blue to
everybody
do it.
has this opinion because I will clip this. And if
Kitty
Jack
Kitty
is
Purr
not
is
winning
not
the
winning
season,
Big Brother
and it's any of
25.
the
I'm
other
sorry.
people, I will gladly clip this and say I was right.
Kitty Purr is not winning
So
this
we'll have to
season.
make a bet.
I'm
If,
not saying she
Yeah.
will win. I'm just saying there is game to be played. And I think
There's plenty. I'm just saying not with her. Just not with her.
But I love
She can get to the final two with everybody left in the game and she's losing. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
I don't think she beats anybody at this point.
you know what? Here's the
You're
thing.
telling me who does Blue Kim beat?
You know what? That's your battle to fight. Whoever has blue on her drink. I'm just saying there is game to be played. And
Who
you
does
never know
Blue
the
Kim beat at this point in the game? Nobody.
You see, and Isaiah, that's why the stands come for you because at least I'm being optimistic. You
I'm
know
being
what?
realistic. I'm looking for an answer. Who do you think?
Everyone
Who
has
do
a
you
chance.
think,
So
Josie? Who do you think Blue Kim right now can beat at the end of the game? Because I can find someone for every single other person in the game.
if she wins HOH,
No hypotheticals. Right now, who do you think she could beat in the game?
I think she could potentially beat depending on her final speech, but I don't want to give.
So nobody.
No.
I don't know if I put too much faith in the speech,
She could
Josie.
beat Bowie Jane. She could beat.
No,
Bowie
she
Jane
can't.
had a very successful HOH.
No, she can't. No, she can't.
Be some people, there's possibility. Again, I'm just not saying. Don't.
Is this
count your
the hill
eggs
we're
until they're
dying
hatched.
on?
Don't
Blue
count your
Kim?
eggs until they're hatched. Period.
Are we
I guess we
dying on
had
the
more
Blue
to say
Kim
about
hill?
Blue than we thought we did, Isaiah.
She don't got nothing to like she's nothing right now. She's not doing
wow.
anything.
Wow.
She is still trusting Matt and Jag. I'm sorry. Like if we're giving lashings out, that's got to be the biggest lashing for that.
Because I understand her in the sense that it's so dumb that you can't actually fathom that you're like, I get it. I'm not defending her. I'm not a Blue advocate. I don't
think you are. I'm just saying Blue Kim.
That I understand why she would be like, there's no way those are my allies, the ones I prioritize since the beginning of week 1. They're idiots. I'm sorry.
But they can still win. I can't say the same for Blue. They have multiple paths to the end right now. I don't think Blue has a lick of chance of winning. Not today, not tomorrow. And for that, she's getting a whammy sound effect. But that's all I have to say. There's nothing else to even talk about.
Really quick, not Blue. I want to just give a shout out to Felicia for just being a real one and calling these people out for their bad, scared gameplay openly. She calls people out to their face. I just love her, and I need her to survive this week. And I don't know, I just love her. She's giving me everything I need, and she's giving us old school Big Brother attitude, and we need more of that.
Yeah,
that's mother.
Shout out to Felicia. All right, look. That was a lot. Last questions. So, how do we feel about the episodes? Are the episodes giving what we need them to be?
No.
Oh, shoot.
I feel like if there was a version of like casuals, but like for the actual show, but like actually paying attention to feeds, that's where I'm at. Like, I really don't care about the weird sound effects, the really scripted VRs, the weird competitions. Like,
I mean, Josie, you don't like the colored farts?
No, personally, that's not in my taste. I think I have a more refined palate than that. But I'm also not their target audience. I'm not American, and I'm not their people.
Josie, not too much on the Americans. Don't think that we like that shit either. Okay. That's not our palate either.
I'm just saying, like, they're clearly catering to someone, and it's not for me. It's okay.
I don't know who.
Like, when I watch the shows every week, every 3 days, like every day it shows up, it's more for the Big Brother Canada audience. That's it. Me personally. But I love the feeds because Felicia, Sari,
Question:
I think the DRs are okay.
Would
We've got some
Josie
good DRs.
win an HOH naming colored farts?
hell, you know what? Actually, depending on what it is, I might pay attention. If I'm in the house and I need a win,
Yeah, you need to win.
you know what? And I'm not gonna say I won't do or will do nothing because you never know. When push comes to shove, we'll see.
All right. All right, I think that's tonight's show. There's nothing else to really talk about, but yeah, this is we made this somehow we made this an hour with like a minimum amount of stuff to talk about, so that's always fun. But if you're enjoying our coverage as usual, please check out and follow all of our pages. Make sure that if you are listening on our Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or all that fun stuff, rate it 5 stars, leave a review. And if you're watching on YouTube, Replay Squad, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Specifically comment. It helps us with the algorithm, so make sure you do that. But thank you guys for watching. We're going to do our plugs. Make sure if you are interested in our exit press, we dropped our interview with Cameron today. So
quote unquote
with Cameron, so you can check that out.
Put that whammy sound effect back on.
Oh, sorry. Interview with Karen. All right, but Joji, where can people find you?
Yes, y'all can find me on all social media that matters. Roseanne XNM, JOSIANE XNM. I will not be doing the rest of the challenge coverage until the end of the season, so we could just recap how we felt overall. Katie will be there ideally, and maybe some other co-guests. But I'll be around if anyone wants me to podcast on anything. I'll probably show up. But I'll be tweeting for sure. I'm about to watch the Love Is Blind episodes that are left. I think people are getting married. So I will be tweeting and talking shit because I have a lot to say. I'm also working on a special project right now that I'm keeping under wraps. But like keep an eye out. So just follow me on the platform so you stay up to date. So that you can get some Josie rants. That's what we'll say.
All right. How about you, Katie?
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at RealSomeKatie. You can follow me at Twitch on twitch.tv/RealSomeKatie with an underscore at the end. Haven't been super active there lately, but hoping to get back to it soon. Podcasting has taken a precedent over the streams, but with the season coming to a close, hopefully I'll be back there soon. Javier and I just started our Traders coverage. We're back with Signed the Traders. We released our first episode covering episodes 1 and 2 of the Traders Canada yesterday, and it was super fun. We'll be back weekly. I was just traveling last week, so we had to cover 2 in 1, but we'll be back every week. Carrie and I will hopefully be back this weekend with some Bravo coverage for Pod What Happens Live, and you can catch me here every Friday.
All right, and make sure if you also are into Traders Canada, link in the description for the Discord. We've been having watch parties for like the last 2 weeks. Mad people have been showing up. It's been a fun time. So make sure you tune into all that if you want to come and hang out and talk while we watch that. And like usual, you can find me at 8Ball Bangers on all social media platforms. Busy over here at Silent Podcast, like usual, every Friday. We're here talking about Big Brother. Like I said, Izzy was supposed to come tonight. We're scheduling her officially tomorrow, so we're going to figure out when we're going to get her back. We do have a Big Brother winner coming on next week, so make sure you check that out. And if you're into Survivor coverage, me, Gia Worthy, and Josh Kettles, we started a Survivor ranking podcast, which is very fun, called It's a Effing Podcast. Shout out Eliza. So make sure you check that out. If you are interested in me and Javier's Love Is Blind coverage, we are going to be wrapping up the finale for that. No spoilers, but yeah, so check that out. And if you want more Love Is Blind coverage, I was on Rob Has a Podcast last week talking about Love Is Blind with Asia and Mary and Jason. So there's that. And lastly, more Big Brother talk. You can check me on RHAP. I was on this week talking about everything that was going on feeds. But until next week, have a good one. Bye.